We're the Spahrs, and this is part of our story. It didn't take too long, but anytime you're waiting, it feels like a long time. So I think we found out we were pregnant in December of 2014. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, around Thanksgiving time.
Oh, around Thanksgiving. Pretty early on, we guessed that he was a boy, just because it was kind of a rough first trimester for me and feeling well. And so, and then I like to say that, how did I used to say it? A lot of my sounds were not as feminine. I burped a lot, made other noises, and so Jacob would tease me and say, it's got to be a boy because you sound like a boy. So we thought of Isaiah, which means Yahweh is our salvation. No, the pregnancy was very smooth. All the appointments went really well. We really liked our doctor. No signs of anything going wrong at all. Yeah, it was no signs or anything. So
I was at work on Monday morning and I got a call that Sandy hadn't felt Isaiah move. She said she was going to the hospital to
the doctor
to just make sure everything was all right.
I was maybe a little apprehensive, but I really was just like, he's just sleeping.
They hooked up their machine to try to listen, to try to find a heartbeat and stuff, and they couldn't find anything. So we thought maybe it's just technical problems.
But then, so the ultrasound technician came in that time, and immediately when she turned on the screen, I just knew it looked different than before. There were no colors on the screen for like blood flow, and that's I think when our doctor said he's gone, I think that was when it fully hit me, because like I was still believing like at any moment his heart would start again. We were crying and asking what happened, and the doctor said in cases where it's a full term, then the heart stops. We often never know why.
The only thing we thought about or dreamed about was him being born, and then it was just gone. Yeah, just to us again.
Yeah. The whole thing was horrible, obviously. But I remember a key moment was in the surgery room right before the C-section. There's no other word other than palpable is the best word I have come up with, was that there was a palpable presence of Jesus. Like, no way anyone can convince me that Jesus wasn't right there. And it wasn't joyful, but there was joy amidst the pain. And I think throughout the months, that's how we saw hope continue, is that there were really, really dark days for a long time. And there's still dark days 2 years later, but I never was afraid to be what I was in the moment.
Where I found hope was in like our support group, our friends and our family who were there at the hospital with us. My hope is in that God can take terrible things. Like, God doesn't lose. He wins in the end. And someday I'll meet my son in heaven.
We, 2 years later, were pregnant again with our daughter this time. Thought of her name, Hope Noel, as one name, because hope is a longing expectation, and Noel is Christ's coming or Christ's presence on earth. And we want to remind ourselves and remind our daughter that our hope is in Christ's presence and our hope is in Christ's coming and not in our circumstances. I'm not thankful that Isaiah died. but I am thankful for things that have happened in us, in our hearts, as a result of it. I am by nature, by my sinful nature and old nature, a worrier. Because of Isaiah's life in my womb and Isaiah's death and our experience of grief, my hope is that in facing those fears, that'll be quicker to turn to God and quicker to say, your will be done, and I'm excited for the end result in heaven.
All we can do is take one step at a time and just trust that God will be with us every step of the way. And